All right. Where's my chat? There it is. All right. Whee! Alright, let's go do that on... What do they call it? X. Twitter. Where's social media? There we go. Nice. Double glazed ultra bacon cheese chicken donut? Wow. Hello. You are very welcome. You are about as welcome can be, dude. Jeez. Hold on a second. What am I doing here? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I already have an account. There you go. There you go. Enter my phone number. Oh, they're making it harder to log into X these days. Now I can put my password in. Dude, that's my password. Calm down. Oh my gosh, I won't. It's not the wrong password. I guess I forgot my password. I guess I'll reset my password. That is my that's my email. Send it. Whoa. Send it to my phone. DMs later. All right. Let's try this again. I gotta enter a new password. What in the world? Alright. I have a new password. Alright. Change password. Why did I change my password? Because you wouldn't let me log in, that's why. Alright. I am now on. Now I can just post my spam. Oh geez. Oh. don't post your password there. I'm like tweeting my password out. It's like, oh crap. I was trying to tweet about the live stream and I tweeted my password instead. Oh no. There we go. Post that crap. Okay, cool. Done. Rock and roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen. You ready to get the show on the road? Hello. How is it going? Just asterisks? Yeah, because then you can't tell if it's hiding the password or if that is the password. That's clever. That's very clever. Okay, so yeah, we're just hanging out tonight, just chilling. We'll do Q&A. There was some stuff on EN World, the news, that I thought was funny. We'll take a look at that. We might look at some news crap and stuff, but we're just chilling, hanging out. I just had a bunch of Thanksgiving leftovers, so like I had this plate of food, and now I was thinking clearly beforehand, and now my brain is muddled. Like, what did I just do? Where am I? Who am I? Why am I? Oh. There's a lot of food. There's a big salad that went with it. So anyway, I had I wanted to have a little bit of pie too, but I don't think I could have eaten any pie. So I'm going to have the pie after the live stream. So if I seem distracted during the live stream, it's because I'm thinking about pie. I just want you to know that's probably what's going on. So anyway, today, all right, so we have a giveaway going on. We always have a giveaway going on. There should be a link in the chat somewhere for that. I think we got Owen Davies is in the house. What up, moderator? How you doing, buddy? You might be the only one here. There's a giveaway, so join that. It's free. We'll give the winner to the giveaway at the end of the live stream. And we have tonight, we have today, this week, it's like Black Friday crap. So we have Black Friday sales going on over on the dmlair.com. So if you want some crap over there, you can get 30 to 50% off everything on the dmlair.com. I'll pull up the little thingy bobber to show you this crap. Where is this thing? Oh, there we go. All right, so monitor this guy right here. So if you go over to dmlair.com, you can see there's a big banner across the top that tells you the discount codes you enter. It's really simple. You just go over, you grab the thing you want. Like if you want Layers and Legends and get just tons of content for your games for the next like years and years and years, these things you can get a bunch off. So yeah, people, this is like our #1 bestseller. These things just fly off the shelves. It's pretty sweet. I really wish the cover art were better. Like I wish the cover art were better for Layers and Legends. But Layers and Legends 2, the cover art is amazing. Look at that. This is the cover art for Layers and Legends 2. And the alt covers, oh, let me show you guys. So we haven't fulfilled this quite yet. We're in the process of printing these. I want to show you the alt covers. I have like the stuff. So, hold on a second. So, when you are printing, when you're doing offset printing, which is you do it like, cheap printing, it's like super high quality, but it's very inexpensive to do it. This is what all big publishers do. When you're doing offset printing, they'll send you like stuff for you to review before they do like the big print run. And so they've been sending me like entire books. Like this isn't like the actual book. It's just all the pages are like loose leaf, so that we can like review them to make sure that they look okay and stuff. So, but they'll send us this. This is the standard cover for Loot and Lore 2. It's all just kind of like loose together. Very soon, I will be receiving the actual book with everything together, but that is going to be probably sometime mid-December. So actually probably a week or two, I'll probably be getting the actual books that I can show you guys. And then this is the packet for Layers and Legends 2. This is the Layers and Legends 2 cover, which is beautiful. And of course, all of the interior pages that they send us as well. You probably want to see, I mean, a lot of you probably backed the Kickstarter, so you're going to be getting these books. So you might want to see what these look like a little bit. I think we did a little post maybe on one of the Kickstarter updates, but I can show you on stream too. Don't knock my coffee over, genius. So this is like the interior layout and design thing. It's very, very nice. It looks amazing. And then we have beautiful artwork as well. Full page artwork in every chapter. And then the artists that we had for these were amazing too. So this is like one of our adventures, Undead at the Walls, and that's the artwork for it. So anyway, these are the interiors for the books. The pre-orders are still open. You can pre-order these if you didn't actually get them yet. There's probably a link somewhere. I bet if you go into the description of this live stream, there's a link down there to where you can pre-order Layers and Legends 2. And then like this is like this one right here was Brendan Lancaster did this one, I'm pretty sure. Beautiful stinking artwork. So anyway, I get these things from the publisher to review them before they do like the full print runs. So I got like a big box of this stuff. And then these are the alt covers. Oh my goodness. This is, hold on a second. That's the second book. This is the first book's alt cover. The alt covers are so beautiful. And then this is the back of it. And it's got like the glossy lamination on certain parts of it. So, and the rest of it's matte. So it like all shiny stands out, looks really cool and stuff. So this is Layers of Legends 2 alt cover, and that's the back of it. And then this right here is Loot and Lore 2, the front of it, and then the back of it right there. So yeah, those are the alt covers. So I am so much happier with the with covers in general for Layers of Legends 2 than Layers of Legends 1. I think Loot and Lore 1 had really good cover, but the Layers and Legends 1 cover always was kind of like, it didn't super excite me. So this time we did a better job, in my opinion. All right, we're gonna put this back. There we go. So that was your update for people who backed that Kickstarter. Everything is going very well as far as our fulfillment timeline is going. Everything is definitely on schedule. In some ways, we're a little bit ahead of schedule. We will have the print run is happening toward the end of December, and everything will be ready for loading onto ships. Like, I have a piece of paper literally right here. This is the production schedule right here. And everything will be ready on the shipyard to load on ships January 6th. And I think it takes about a month and a half or so on the boat ride over to our fulfillment partner, who is in either Oregon or Washington. There's California, and then there's like Oregon and Washington over here. They're in one of those two states above California. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. But so everything's going very well. We'll definitely be fulfilling everything. I mean, unless something crazy happens, we'll definitely be fulfilling everything by, would we promise backers? April of next year? Like, no, I think we said May of next year. Yeah, unless something crazy happens, we will easily hit that fulfillment date. So if you're a backer, then you're probably gonna get stuff earlier than we originally told you, which is intentional. We always tell people that we always bake a little bit of extra time into things because crap happens. So if everything goes according to plan, you usually will get things early, but we always add like a month or 2 or 3 or something onto our dates because we're like, bullcrap's gonna happen, and it's better to deliver early than to deliver it late. So yeah, but everything's going really well. If you're a backer for Layers and Legends 2, you'll be getting your loot in DG's. We should be able to fulfill sometime in January, February, I bet in March. I bet you by March, we're probably gonna be doing fulfillment. That'd be my guess, because if the boat ride takes from January, the boat ride will take all of January, probably all of February, because once it gets to the port on the west coast, it's got to like go through customs and bullcrap. That'll take another week or 2, and so it'll probably be at our warehouse at the beginning of March. So I bet you sometime in March they will run that fulfillment. That'll be for U.S. backers. Things are usually a little bit delayed for international backers because we have 2 different fulfillment partners over in the UK and then over in Australia that do things. So usually fulfillment for backers in different parts of the world takes place a little bit later, but it shouldn't be too bad. It'll definitely be before May, unless something crazy happens. Oh, there we go. Glad Clark, what's up, dude? He's in the house. All right, sweet. So that's Layers and Legends 2 update, and then we are doing questions too. So if you throw questions in the chat, I will find them eventually and answer them, or I'll just ask you to repeat them and then I'll answer them. All right, let's look at my new doggy. Doggy, come here. Come here, new doggy. Doggy. Oh. So we have a new doggy. This is our new doggy. She doesn't technically have a name yet. We've had her since Saturday. But I've been calling her Princess. So that's probably gonna end up her name. I don't know what exactly we got her from the Humane Society, so I don't know exactly what she is, but I think I was looking at Chihuahua mixes, and there is a Chihuahua mix that is a mix between a Chihuahua and a Jack Russell, which is a type of dog that I didn't know about until, a few days ago. But I think she looks a lot like a Chihuahua Jack Russell mix, just looking at it. So I don't know, but she's something or other, and she is super needy too. So she's very good, and she gets along with the kitty cats, which is very important. All right, she's done. She wants to go back down to her bed. So that's our new doggy. Name her Peanut. Oh, that's a cute name. Peanut actually is a cute name. Peanut. That kind of works actually. Purple Fire, what up, dude? I'm glad to see you, man. I'm glad you could catch a stream, dude. Yeah, she's super cute. She follows me everywhere now too. Like, we have a little gate in our basement, and she just jumps it now. It used to keep our other dog from like wandering up and down the stairs and stuff. So, yeah. Cat. All right. Gadget Cast says, I'm running a Sci-Fi X Fantasy 5e campaign. Why are you using 5th edition D&D for a sci-fi game? I mixed D&D 5e, D&D 5.5e, Tombs of the Valiant. Okay, well, Tales of the Valiant is really just D&D 5th edition. It's a copy-paste job for all intents and purposes. So they're pretty much, what do you want to call it? They're interchangeable terms for all intents and purposes. SW5e, I don't know what that is. And I'm wondering if you guys know a good homebrew book for this theming and system. Holy crap, what? I don't know, man. I don't run a lot of sci-fi stuff ever. There was a Kickstarter. There was a Kickstarter that I backed that was for D&D 5e based sci-fi, but I'm pretty sure that's never going to fulfill. So I don't run a whole bunch of 5th edition games, honestly. What was the name of that game? I think it was called... What was it called? 5e sci-fi... Hold on, let me go to Kickstarter. I backed the project. I literally backed the project. But it's one of those projects that I'm pretty sure will never fulfill. So I have zero hope of getting that book. Because I like sci-fi stuff. I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars. So I'm pretty sure I would like playing a sci-fi type, role-playing game. I played Mothership. I've played Mothership before at a gaming convention. Tons of fun. Let me see. What was that? View all of the projects I've backed. What was that? What was that project that I'm pretty sure is never gonna fulfill? I'm looking it up right now because I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of it. There's a whole bunch of backers that are getting screwed from my calculations. Let me see. What was the name of that thing? Where is that? Seymour Pledges. I've backed far too many things. I actually stopped back. I used to just back lots of different Kickstarters, and I've had to stop backing. I only back the ones now that I actually think I'm going to use, because I got too many books I don't use. Is it this one? Yeah, this one right here. So this one right here, I'm pretty sure this one, see, you backed this project. Yes, I did. How do you feel about this project so far? A big sad face. A big sad face. So this one right here, Waystar, this was look how many backers there were. There were a decent amount of backers. They raised about $200,000, and I'm pretty sure we will never see this project. So if you look at the community, like, people are very upset about this. Where is this thing? Oh, whoops, go to the comments. This is every single comment. This is like every single comment. Oh, you thief, when are we getting our stuff? I've reported them as well. I don't expect any resolution. But at least it's on record that Penny Dragon is apparently screwing us over. And then I reported this project months ago. They still create Kickstarters, but they haven't published it. Yeah, they keep creating more. They keep creating more Kickstarters, actually. What is going on with this project? I'm writing this one off. I wrote this one off about a year ago. About a year ago, I was pretty sure we're never going to see this. So please refund me. I no longer want this project. Was this the one I left a comment on? I left a comment on this one too, because I was pretty sure I would never, ever get this at all. Because I went through and I looked up a bunch of different projects that this person is making. They're continuing to make projects, and I found them all. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, this is right. Where was this? Yeah, refund all your backers. Can we please get an update? The thing is there's like one update a year on this project. Like the last update, where were the updates? Where were the updates? We're going down a rabbit hole. I don't even know why we're going down this rabbit hole, but it came up. Somebody was asking about sci-fi, 5th edition and sci-fi, and this came up. So here's an update from July 25th. Okay. And then the update before that was March 19th. So you're getting an update 3 months apart. 3 months apart. And then there was one before on March 9th. And then January 30th. And before that on January 30th, we had one in October. So you're getting updates like every 3 months or something. And this is for, when did this actually fund? When did the funding end for this? Is there a way to tell when the thing, does anybody know? Is there a way to tell when the project actually launched? This was about 2 years ago or so, I think, that we've been waiting for this. Does anybody know how to do that? Okay, September 20th, 2022. So it's been a little over 2 years. And every time there's an update, it's a sob story, by the way. Things got hectic. Yeah, things got hectic in the run up to GaryCon in March. Penny Dragon Games brought on a whole bunch of new people to help with various projects. I ended up signing a management role. Yep. So prior to that, a previous update that he had put on here was that a bunch of the people that worked for him left. Like that was their January 30th. So this was in January. Over the last 8 months, their company has expectedly faced several heavy blows, creating something of a perfect storm. Fully transparent. There's a whole bunch of things about COVID and Facebook ads deleted and stuff. Individuals from associated with the business jeopardizing livelihoods. I think so. What I read somewhere, and maybe somebody can verify this, is that a whole bunch of the team left, and I don't think they were paying them or something, and so they left. It was something, but I don't recall the details of it. I read this back in January. I was reading about this back in January. So anyway, we're never going to see this. It continues to be developed and refined. We're never going to see this. So I don't know why. We'll stop talking about this. This probably doesn't interest anybody. But that's a project. That's another one of those projects we're never going to see. But what really annoys me, is that this company keeps on launching Kickstarters. They keep on launching more Kickstarters, and they haven't fulfilled a Kickstarter. They have several Kickstarters now that are open that haven't been fulfilled. This is just one of them. I compiled a list of them. There were about 4 or so that were open and unfulfilled, and they started launching them over on BackerKit too. Because at some point, if you have too many Kickstarters open on Kickstarter itself, they're going to be like, whoa, we can't approve more until you actually fulfill the ones you have open. So I think if you go to different crowdfunding platforms like BackerKit or Indiegogo, do people still use Indiegogo? I haven't heard about that one in a while. And there are new ones too that are coming up. So if you do crowdfunding on different platforms, then Kickstarter can't stop you, right? Because it's just their platform. So what's really annoying, and this is one of the things that a lot of backers are complaining about. And by the way, this is just this is like, how not to run a Kickstarter 101. So the company keeps on opening up more Kickstarters when they still haven't fulfilled ones that have been open for over 2 years, have received almost no updates at all. They don't even like there should be like, you'd think that there'd be like updates about, I don't know, playtesting, show us like cover insides of books and stuff. I don't know. So check this out. If you're actively developing a game system, which is what they're doing. I mean, Waystar is a 5th edition. It's D&D 5th edition only for sci-fi stuff, essentially. That's how it's built. So if you're developing a game system, then you're going to be doing some playtesting, but not just internal playtesting. You think you'd have a much larger playtest group, right? Because if you look at how Dungeon Coach is doing DC 20 playtesting, he's releasing packets. He's releasing playtest packets constantly, right? Like about a couple of weeks ago, there was a big release that he put out, and I forget which one it was, but he did a big release about they'd added up to level. There was a certain level they'd added more classes for or fleshed out the game for, but he's been releasing like the playtest packets and the actual game itself more and more. Every so often, he sends out a bunch of more parts of the game that they've been working on. And that shows you that you're actually working on the game. You're creating the actual game. Even if you look at Wizards of the Coast, when they were creating D&D 5th edition, the 2024 version of D&D, they were sending out packets of stuff. And I think it was more marketing than actual playtesting, but they were still saying, hey, this is what we're planning on doing. This is what things are looking like, But I don't know that anything's really been sent out for this one. I could be wrong. Maybe there has been stuff sent out and I just can't find any of it. But you just would expect to see something if you were actively developing a game. So that's why I say I don't think we're ever going to see this one. I think that they probably just have lots of financial issues going on, and they are not able to pay their staff, which is why a lot of them left back in January. And then I think they're pulling on more, it sounds like, or something. But I don't think that we're ever going to see this stuff. This is just, well, what's frustrating is that more Kickstarters or more crowdfunding keeps coming out, which is almost kind of like, I don't know. I don't think that I don't think I personally would have like the gall to know that I'm never going to fulfill this Kickstarter back here and to keep opening up more and then getting more people's money, when I know that I'm never going to fulfill this one, unless I'm trying to fund the past Kickstarter with new money that I'm pulling in from the Kickstarters I'm opening up now or something. But that's just bonkers to me. Like when I run a Kickstarter, like what did we make? We made like close to 300,000 with Layers and Legends 2. So the first thing you do is you punch numbers. You're like, okay, how much do I need to print the books? That's $32,670. It was something around that much. Okay, cool. That money gets set aside. Excellent. How much do I need to pay the artists? Well, that's probably around 60,000. I don't know. Okay, that money gets set aside. Like once your Kickstarter closes and a bunch of money lands in your account, you do your financial business calculations and you determine how much money do I need to fulfill this project? And then you earmark it, you set it aside. You usually put it in like a high interest business savings account. So you're getting somewhere around 4% interest. So no risk at all. It's completely liquid, but you don't want to like put it in the stock market or something crazy where you could lose it, but you put it somewhere safe where you're going to get some interest and it can sit there, and then as the expenses come up, it's right there for you to pay the folks. And so there's no question whatsoever, ever, that you're not going to be able to actually pay for the development, for the artwork, for the printing, interior layout and design, all of these things. Like this is like running a business 101. That's what this is, right? And that's what you need to do so anyway. And like I've only dealt with smaller Kickstarters. Like we made like 350,000 was our largest Kickstarter. So I'm like, these are like smaller Kickstarters in my opinion. Nothing near like people that are doing like Dungeon Coach did like 2 million plus things. Like I've never had to mess with the finances of that stuff, which theoretically it's just the same. It's only at scale. You know what I mean? It's probably not that bad. So anyway, we went down a rabbit hole today. Okay. I mean, but you know, hey, if you make like 300,000 and then you just, instead of fulfilling your Kickstarter, you go pay your house off, like that's how you lose money, or that's how you don't have money to fulfill your Kickstarter. I don't know. I'm not saying anybody did that. I'm just saying that there are really bad things you could do. Like it's like when you have like a bunch of money in your account, all of a sudden, if you don't use like good business sense and business ethics, you know, and management and stuff, you could end up doing something, you know, very selfish and bad that will screw over a whole bunch of people, you know. So you can't do that, right? Anyway, Miak says maybe they are just thieves. I mean, we're never going to see these products. I'm convinced. I am convinced, you know. And the crazy thing is that, you know, here's the thing. The crazy thing is like you see some of these like failed projects and stuff, and then you go to conventions and you see the same people running those failed projects on panels talking about how to be successful on Kickstarter. And it blows my mind. Like, if there were like, I don't know, just hypothetically speaking, a panel on how to run a Ponzi scheme, you know, you'd expect this, okay, hey, you know, but like, I don't know, there are other things, other panels that's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be on that panel, man. You probably shouldn't be on that panel. So, and then I don't know how much it costs to sponsor a convention, but there are some of these companies that are underwater that are not going to fulfill their product promises to their backers, you know, that are sponsoring conventions like GaryCon, you know, and they don't have the funds to pay their people who are quitting or something, and they aren't able to do development for their Kickstarter, and yet they're sponsoring a convention. Like, what's this all about? That money could be used to maybe make books for people that have like given you a bunch of money to books that they've been waiting on for a couple of years. So I don't know. People make odd, from my point of view, obviously not knowing all the details and just kind of an outside observer, people make odd financial decisions at times that leave you boggled. And you're like, what's going on here? So anyway, I'm happy to say that we're not going to screw you over. When we run our Kickstarters, you actually get your books. We've run Into the Fae, Layers and Legends, The Secret Art of Game Mastery, and everybody's gotten their books. Unless you didn't fill out your survey, and then I can't help you. But everybody who's filled out their survey and paid their money has got their books. And then Layers and Legends 2 is going to be fulfilling in early 2025, and everybody will get your books. It's going to be beautiful. Oh, our next Kickstarter is opening up in April next year. Is that right, Zach? April 2025, I think, is Dungeon Drifters. Oh, check this out, you guys. So I'm gonna show you some artwork for Dungeon Drifters. You guys are gonna love this. I'm gonna pull this up for you. We are starting to get our artwork around and stuff for our next Kickstarter, Dungeon Drifters. So I'm gonna show some of this to you. It is really cool. You're probably gonna like it. I just gotta find the folder because I wasn't planning on doing this. Let me see. Dungeon Drifters Kickstarter artwork. Okay, final artwork. Here we go. Base game box. Where is the? No, I want the stuff. Where's the stuff from Kirby? Zach, where is the stuff from Kirby? Launch Boom VIP. That's not it. Which folder can I find the artwork from Kirby in, dude? I want to show this stuff off. Graphic development? It must be the graphic development? Nope, that's not it. What? Where is this folder? Launch Boom? It's got to be the one. Yeah, the Kirby that is doing the graphic design for our Launch Boom and for our Kickstarter page and stuff. I don't know which folder to find all the artwork he's been creating in. He's been doing all this amazing artwork and I don't know where to find it. Dungeon Drifters graphics. Okay. There is, oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. Graphics. Finished graphics. Banner Image 1. Oh, I think Banner Image 2 is the one that we're planning on doing, right? Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Is that gonna work for me? Yee, it worked. Okay. Here we go. This is Dungeon Drifters right here. This is like our mock-up work for it. So it's a board game, right? You chuck dice, you kill monsters, you take their stuff. You know, you get your inner murder hobo out. It's like, it doesn't have complicated scenarios that take you an hour over to set up. You literally like pop the map open, you populate the first room, and you place some monster tokens in yours, and you start playing the game. The rules are super simple. You learn them in under 15 minutes, and you start playing. It's super easy. So you can teach this to like your younger family members and like the casuals who maybe don't want to get into like a hardcore game. They just want something really cool and fun. So this is Dungeon Drifters. Kill stuff, chuck dice, take their loot, have fun. So, and this is like our artwork, and it's going to have little acrylic standees and stuff. This one doesn't show the map though. Where's the one that actually shows a map underneath it? That's the one I want. That must be banner image number 3. Yeah, that's banner image number 3. That's the one we're actually using. Where did it go? Come on, baby. Where? Pop up. There we go. Now I have a map underneath it. That looks better. So anyway, this is the Kickstarter we're going to be launching in April 2025. So yeah, we're going into board games. We're going to do some board games. It's more fun. It is way more fun to like make a game like this than to publish books. I'm sorry, but it's way more fun. And it's our game. It'll be our game. We're not just making something for 5th edition or for Pathfinder 2 or something. It's just our game and stuff. So we're doing board games. So this will be next year. We don't have a link or anything. Wait, we do we have a link? We actually do have a link, don't we? Because they approved the project. So there is a link where you guys can follow this project actually. Hold on a second. Let's find out where this is. Because you should be able to find this now. Dungeon Drifters Kickstarter. Because they approved the project, which means Dungeon Drifters. I'm probably going to have to go to Kickstarter. Not this one. This isn't the one. This is the wrong one. Dungeon Drifters. Zach, why can't I find it? They approved the project. What am I doing wrong? Zach, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I find it? Oh, I haven't activated the landing page yet? Oh, I'm dumb. Let's do that. Let's activate the landing page. Why haven't we done that yet? All right. I'm not ready to launch. Promotion. Okay, we have to generate a project URL. Oh, I can probably show you this. I don't think there's anything on here that nobody can see. We'll use your current project title to generate a URL. Even if you change the title later, the URL will stay the same. Your project page won't go live until you launch. Okay. Does that look right? Kickstarter.com projects DM Lair Dungeon Drifters. It's got a slash in there, but there's nothing I can do about that. I can't actually change this, but that's fine, right? I don't think that's a problem. Zach, this is your last chance to say something. I can't actually update this, so I don't think we have a choice. Yes, Dave, Dungeon Drifters, we are having it be available as like a party game is part of our intention. We want you to be able to set up super fast and play with your friends, make it super easy, have fun, you know, and then that's part of the intention. Like I like playing games like Gloomhaven and stuff. Gloomhaven not in particular, that's not my favorite game in the world, but games similar to that. But they have these scenarios that take you an hour plus to set up, and it is really a pain in the butt. So we want something that's easy. Yeah, okay, I mean, we're gonna have website redirects. That's what we have. Okay, there we go. Pre-launch page. Oh, look at this. There is a little blurb here. We can put stuff down here if we want. We should probably put something there. Dungeon Drifters. Yeah. Activate. There, now you guys can follow the project. That's the only reason I was doing this. There. Take this, put it in here. Whee! All right, now you guys can follow that if you want to get notified on launch. Yeah. Cool. That's it. What were we doing? Okay, Q&A. Let's go back to Q&A. My players are about to go level 7 on D&D 5th edition, and I'm starting to be a bit afraid of how I can challenge them with my NPCs and monsters. I don't want to start throwing them down dragons and demons. I wouldn't worry about it. Around level 5, characters are very sturdy. They're very resilient, and it's D&D 5th edition. You're not going to you're really not gonna be able to kill them very easily. It's gonna be very, very hard to actually kill them. You'll be fine. I would just, at level 7, you can probably still follow the encounter creation math and rules, and there are online calculators you can use for that, and they'll get you pretty close to being something that should be challenging. So, but they're very sturdy at that point. I wouldn't worry too much. I would just remember, you don't want every fight to be hard. You want there to be a mix of easy stuff, medium stuff, and then more challenging stuff. So you want a variety of different difficulties in the game. That makes it way more interesting and fun than if everything is grinding gruel or if everything is super easy. But you can just basically, the ones you want to be challenging, just, create one that's like, of a certain strength. Say that it's like just barely deadly, and then if they do really well at that, then the next one you make even more deadly. And you just keep kind of pushing the line a little bit, pushing the envelope until you find more or less what your group can handle. That's kind of all you can really do, because every group is different. The different characters have different strengths. Like, if you put a paladin in a group, that's very powerful. A ranger, not so much. Rogues can be very good DPS and lots of other things, If you have a wizard that has very poor spell selection, then they might not contribute a whole lot. I don't know. You might have a sorcerer who all the sorcerer does is cast magic missile. It's like they're like a high level sorcerer, but they're just upcasting magic missile. If they're doing that, then they're not going to contribute nearly as much as like other characters that are doing other things. So there's really no every group is different. Every set of characters is different, and their powers are different. So you just kind of got to test things. You got to test things and see what your group can handle and what they can't. And that's just kind of the way things go. And some monsters are harder than others, depending on your group composition too. So there's this D&D 5th edition is not really intended to be super balanced. Like it has the veneer of balance around it, where it's like, hey, monsters have CRs and there's a challenge rating system and here's the encounter building system. But it's not really balanced. It's kind of swingy and unpredictable in a lot of different ways. So I feel like the sooner that's accepted and we're trying less to worry about balance, probably the easier it's going to be for us, because our expectations will be aligned with reality. But 5th edition is not super balanced well. They kind of have some math in there and stuff, but it doesn't always really work super well. So I think that's just the takeaway for that. I always forget to talk about this stuff. We have a giveaway going on. There should be a link down in the chat somewhere. You might have to scroll a little bit. Maybe a moderator can drop a link to our giveaway. Sign up for the giveaway. We'll draw the winner of the giveaway at the end of the live stream tonight. You can win $50 DM Lair store credit, buy a whole bunch of cool stuff. And actually, now is the perfect time to get $50 DM Lair store credit, because it's going to go a whole lot farther than it normally would, because we have a Black Friday sale going on. If you go over to thedmlair.com, there is codes across the very top of the site, and you can enter these in and you will save between 30% and 50% on everything on the DM Lair store. So we have things like Layers and Legends, these are like our best-selling books that have just tons of content in them. You can get 30% off these things. And we also just lowered some prices anyway on some of these titles, so you're gonna save a whole bunch more than you would. And then you can get Secret Art of Game Mastery. We have Foundry modules too. You can get where are those things? Foundry VTT modules for all of these things that have, you know, everything is set up, lighting, the maps, the monsters. You just install it. We'll give you license codes and crap. It's, you know, it's you know how it works if you use Foundry. So yeah, we got those things are all available. So a whole bunch of crap over here. These, for instance, the Foundry stuff is 50% off. So you can save big on these things. So anyway, Black Friday sale going on right now. Today is literally Black Friday. Wow. All right, cool. Yeah, it has the veneer of balance the same way as Superman's villains have the veneer of capability. They might look like they have a chance, but absent a Deus Ex Machina, there isn't really one. Yeah, Superman was always boring to me as a hero because he was pretty much invincible unless you found kryptonite. And for whatever reason, kryptonite seemed to grow on trees. Everybody had it. So it's like, I don't know. He never really interested me as a superhero. I think he's cool. I like him. And they did a really good job on some of the recent movies with him. But man, yeah, I don't know. He didn't quite do it for me. Any tips on pitching a weird campaign? So I think there are probably a couple of things you probably want to, that should be true for any campaign that you're going to pitch to your players. I think the first part of it is that it should be something that you are interested in running, that excites you. And then I think the other part of it is that it should be something that your players will be interested in running, which means you need to know probably a little bit about your players and what they're interested in, okay? Because you want your campaign to also appeal to them. And so when you pitch it to them, you'll want to mention like maybe some of the weird aspects of it, but also emphasize the parts of the campaign that will appeal to your players. Like you might have parts of the campaign that are just like out there and you're like, these guys probably aren't going to like that. But there are these other things I'm doing in the campaign that I'm pretty sure they're going to like. So when you do your pitch, mention the weird stuff and all that kind of, but then make sure you mention the stuff that's going to appeal to Jim and Susie and Bob and Tiffany. You know, mention those things. So they're like, oh yeah, I like that stuff. Oh, you know, and that way they might be like, well, that sounds really weird, but it has some stuff in there that I like as well. So mention those things, and that'll help get buy-in on it. Do you think the advice about D&D combat balance applies to other systems? Should a GM of Dragonbane also continue to push the difficulty up continually? I'm not necessarily saying that you should do that for any game system, 5th edition. That wasn't exactly what I was trying to say. I think what I was trying to say is if you want to find that threshold where the challenging encounter lies, how hard can you go to make something challenging, right? Then you kind of have to push that until you find where that is. If you want to do that, I'm not saying you have to, right? There are some groups and games that are just like, you know, they don't really want to have challenging combats. That's not like, they don't care about that. They just, you know, they're happy to just have medium or easy ones all the time. Maybe that's what they want. So I'm not saying you have to do that or you should do that. I'm saying that if you want to have challenging encounters occasionally or frequently or whatever, the way to find the threshold of how to make a challenging encounter is by continually making some encounters more and more difficult until you find out how much your players can handle, and then you know that that's the golden spot for a challenging encounter, kind of. But it's going to change every time they level up, every time they get access to new spells. Like you're going to be chasing your tail in a certain respect. So if you want to run challenging encounters, then that's kind of what you got to find where that is, and it's just some experimentation. But I'm not familiar with Dragonbane. I don't know what that game system's all about and stuff. Because there are some game systems where the math is much tighter. Like if you look at Pathfinder 2, the math on building encounters is very tight. And if I make a moderate encounter, it's probably going to feel moderate to my players. If I make an extreme one, then it's probably going to leave a couple of them dead, like immediately. Like you're probably going to have a character dropping every round nearly, or it'll be brutal. So their math is much tighter. The balance in the game is much better done, as opposed to games like, D&D 5th edition. So in that game, I can just basically follow the numbers, and they're mostly going to be true. There are some exceptions. Once you start to have monsters that are over 2 levels higher than the group, then they're going to start critting a whole lot more in Pathfinder 2. Their armor class is going to be so high that players are going to struggle to even hit them. So there are some like little caveats to that, because I have a large group. We have 6 players in my Pathfinder 2 group, and I could technically give them a monster that's 4 levels higher than the group, and it would technically be within like the threshold, like the range of experience or whatever, that that's suitable for them. But I know that if I put a monster that's 4 levels higher than them, regardless of what the level range is or the number range is, that they're not going to be able to hit that monster, and that monster is going to be critting them almost every hit, and it is going to be brutal. So there are some things, that there are always caveats and stuff, but overall it's really well balanced compared to other game systems I played. I have played Castles and Crusades at a convention, Gary Con, a couple years ago. I played a couple Castles and Crusades game. I have all the books on my shelf over there. I haven't really gotten into it a whole lot. I read a little bit of it, but not a whole lot. And then I got into some other games. I got excited about some other stuff, but I have the books. What is your take on music and ambiance? How do you manage it during a game? So essentially what I do during a game is I use Foundry VTT for my online games, and then how I do it online and how I do it in person is a little bit different. When I'm in person, so this is what I do when I'm in person. I go to Tabletop Audio, which is this site right here, and then they have a player. I just filter like maybe fantasy. I'll just add a whole bunch of songs to this player up here. I'll just pick ones that I feel like sound cool or something, or look cool. I'll just add a whole bunch of songs to this player, and then I'll put it on loop. And this will just play in the background my entire... What do we play for? We play for 6 hours? We play for 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That's 5 hours. We play for 5 hours, so this will just be playing the entire time that we're playing our game. Now, that's just for in person. I'm not going to manage each individual song and pick out songs that are perfect for like, this is a battle and this is not a battle. I don't do that in person. I don't really have as much time probably to do that. For in-person games, I don't know, they're a different beast. Running an in-person game is a little bit different than running an online game. In-person games, because more than one person can talk at a time, and conversation's a little bit more fluid too. Things go a little bit faster, I feel like. And so I am like, I need to pay attention and adjudicate a whole lot more. And I also don't have a computer at my table. I have a little iPad that's not connected to my surround sound, so I couldn't even manage the audio in person if I wanted to. So it's a little bit different. But when I'm playing online, then it's a lot easier. I in Foundry VTT, I have a music player. I forget the name of it, but it's a module add-on you can get. I have it in Foundry VTT, and what I'll literally do is just, when a battle starts, I'll just pick a battle soundtrack and start playing it. And then when battle's over, I'll just go pick something else and I'll start playing it. And I'll try to fit the ambiance or the mood, if it's like mysterious or something. Or if we're in town and they're taking downtime, I'll put like some tavern music on, like halfling tavern music where they're celebrating. I'll put some of that on. So when I'm playing online, I try to be more cognizant and deliberate about the music that I'm playing in the background. It's easier to do so online, for online play, in my case at least, the way I have my setup. And the other thing too is that my online games are all paid games. People are paying me to play, and so I am more careful to run a better game for them, I should say. You know, which makes sense. If people are paying to play, then you should run a better game than when they're not paying to play. So anyway, I try to be very deliberate about the music because I think I feel very strongly that music adds greatly to the ambiance in the game and improves the game. And so I definitely include music in my games. All right. I'm running a campaign for a party of new D&D players. After a year or so, I'm trying to transition from teaching them rules to running RP, but they aren't interacting. Do you have any ideas? You have to ask them direct questions. So like if you're in character and you're like, you know, the soldier, you have to have the soldier directly address the characters. So instead of just addressing the group, you turn to Bob and you have the soldier say, "And you, what about you? What are you guys all doing here?" And then just stare at Bob. He's gonna give you a response. He's gonna say something, you know. So I would maybe try that and see if you can get them to say something. Gosh, I don't know. I've never had a problem with getting players to interact. They don't all speak in character, you know what I mean? But they'll at least give me something. So I would try that, because if you're directly addressing a person, I think it's going to be hard for them to not say anything. If you're playing online, okay. So here's something else. Here's something else I just thought of too. I don't know if you're in person or online, but I will tell you this. If you're playing online and you don't have video cameras on, I can totally understand that nobody is responding at all. You know, that makes it really hard because you can't see faces and stuff. It makes it harder to interface as a human being and have that social interaction and that role play going on. I noticed that I was in an online game where people didn't have cameras on. I noticed that too. I could feel this disconnect, and I felt bad for the game master too, because I could feel like it felt like some of the players were just disengaged or something. It just felt weird. I don't know. And then the games online, when the cameras are on, the role play, in the talking in character, and the social interactions and stuff are a whole lot better. Are you gonna come up here or not? If you're gonna come up here, let's go. Come on. I've been doing this live stream for an hour now. I don't know where you've been. You guys, Squeaky's thinking about coming up here. Don't look at the dog. The dog's not gonna do anything to you. Fluffy bucket. I don't know. I would try that. Get your cameras on, man. When I run online games, that's one of my rules. You gotta have a camera. You gotta have a camera on. I'm not gonna try to run a game with people that I can't see. That's bonkers. Bonkers. I couldn't do that. Natalie, yeah, he just got here. He just got here. Yes, the co-host has arrived. If I want to host a homebrew with my friend group, but they're uninterested in the concept, is it worth compromising the premise by rewriting to make it more appealing for them to want to play? I mean, I would. If I pitched a game to my friends and they're all kind of like, "Yeah, Luke, that doesn't sound interesting to us," then I'm probably going to try to tweak it a bit so that it would be interesting to them. Now, I hate the word compromise. You don't need to compromise in so much that you can still run a game that you like and then try to make it so that they like it as well. There's so much freedom in how you design a game and the premise and all this kind of stuff. You can easily come up with something that both you and your players like. You know, it's not like, you know, I want $50, but they only want to pay $25. We can't both be happy. Like, you know, it's not like that. It's not black and white like that. There's tons of freedom and flexibility, you know, so it's a different beast. It's hard enough to get all the players' volume levels good sometimes online. Editing and music can complicate that. Well, in Foundry VTT, the module that I use, each individual player can adjust the volume level, their own personal volume level of the music. And that is what you need in a player, because in like the audio player. So like if I set the music volume too loud, the players can just be like, yeah, each individual player can adjust their personal volume level, which is very important. So yeah, you don't gotta screw with that. What if you're super ugly? I don't care what you look like. Danjamin, dude, I have played with a wide variety of people. Some of them have been attractive and others have been not quite as attractive, and I don't give a flying crap. I don't think anybody gives a flying crap. Like, who cares? Are we dating? Is this like, what are the dating apps that people use? Tinder, isn't that a dating app? I think that's the one where like, that's the naughty one, isn't it? I don't know at dating. I'm married. I don't keep up with these things. But it's not dating. Nobody freaking cares. I don't care what my players look like. I don't care if you're fat, if you're skinny, if you like took a nosedive off the ugly tree and hit every branch down. I don't give a freaking crap. We're playing a game, man. You know? Yeah, so I don't think anybody cares. Nobody cares, dude. Nobody cares what you look like. I was at the gym. I was at the gym today with my wife, and there was a guy who had a shirt on. I liked his shirt. And this is people, you've probably all seen this shirt and you're like, yeah, Luke, that shirt's been around for years, dude. Where have you been? Yeah, I've been in my basement, like making crap. I don't know. So it was a simple shirt. It said, no one cares, work harder, which is appropriate at a gym, you know, but I think I want to get that shirt because I think that shirt is like applicable to a lot of things in life. No one cares, work harder. Everybody's got a sob story. Everybody's got a crybaby story about woe is me, this, that, and the other. No one cares. Just work harder, you know? And in the topic of like, what if I'm ugly on camera? No one cares. No one cares, dude. Nobody cares, man. Nobody cares. We just want to play games, man. I guess you can't work harder at not being ugly, though. Well, I mean, technically you probably can, but yeah, we won't worry about that. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, that's true. Yes, Dave, you're getting into Shadow Dark. Woo! I have my Shadow Dark stuff right here. I'm currently planning my next adventure. This is the DM screen. I use the DM screen when I'm writing my adventures because I will have this thing open in front of me and it has some like useful reference information when I'm planning my adventures and stuff. And then, did I fold this wrong? I think I folded this wrong. Yeah, I did. And then, yeah, so I got this thing. I just got all the scrolls too. I have all the scrolls for it. So, you probably don't, the scrolls are most useful for the classes in them. And there's some additional rules in them that are somewhat useful. One of them has some cool rules in it too. But anyway, yeah, I'm very much into Shadow Dark right now. We're wrapping, so I'm running a one shot. So I'm running a one shot on Start Playing right now. There's actually, oh, hold on a second. I should probably talk about this. We have a slot open, actually. He's biting me. Nat, he's biting me. He just bit my arm. You're the one that asked. Let me show you my monitor. So we have a slot open, Core Badir. There we go. I have one seat open right here in the game. There's one seat open. We just had one player leave. We have 5 players now, and we have a capacity of 6. So there's literally a spot open. There's only one game of this one shot left. There's one session left for this one shot. But after this one shot ends, I will be doing a second one shot. And the second one shot will not be the exact same adventure. It'll be the next level of the dungeon. And so the people from this, some of them from this one shot are probably going to want to play in the second one. So if anybody who's interested could join this one shot right here. We play on December 8th is our next play date. And then when that ends, we'll set up another one shot. What I'm going to eventually do is this is going to turn into a campaign. I'm doing 2 one-shots, and then I will turn it into a campaign, and then invite the players who have played in the one-shot will get priority on joining the campaign, and then I will open it up to everybody else. So if you're interested, you can play with me with Shadow Dark. And if you never played Shadow Dark, it's super easy. If you have an inkling of how to play D&D 5th edition, you will be able to play Shadow Dark really easily. Because Shadow Dark is super streamlined, easy rules, super fast learned rules. It's like very easy. And it's tons of fun. So it's the easiest game system in the world to pick up. So I wouldn't worry about that. All right. Oh, somebody's using adult language. Don't use adult language. Nightbot will smack you. No one cares. Just do it. What's up, buddy? Yeah? Where have you been? The cats are still getting accustomed to our dog. So I think he was afraid to come for the first half of the live stream, but now he's here. Oh, at the end, the no one cares work harder is also working on the assumption that the only person you're comparing yourself to is your past self, just trying to be better than yesterday. I mean, that's interesting. I feel like you really shouldn't compare yourself to others because you will always lose. There's always someone who's better than you are in any given category. Always. You know, anything you compare, like I might compare myself to other people who do YouTube, and there's lots of people that do a much better job than me. They're all over the place. And it's like, well, I could feel like I suck. You know, I could look at my Kickstarters and compare my Kickstarters with other Kickstarters that do way more money. You know, Dungeon Coach just did like over 2 million. I'd be like, wow, I suck. I only did 300,000 on my Kickstarter, and Dungeon Coach did 2 million. Wow, I suck. You know, so if you compare yourself to others, I think you just go to bad places, you know? And if you compare yourself like, oh, you know, that person's cuter than I am, or more handsome, or less fat than I am, you know, like you go to bad places and you feel bad about yourself, you know? So I think the comparison game is a losing game, and you will always lose and you'll always get burnt by us. I think that just in general, not comparing yourself to others is probably a better way to go. You know, no, none of us can really do that perfectly, you know. So it's great. It's easy to say that, but good luck trying it, you know. This guy's biting me. Look at him. He's going at me. Yeah, I'm about ready to smack you. That's not very nice. Comparison is the thief of joy. Ooh, that's a good saying. I like that. I had this when I worked on myself physically, professionally, mentally. My life is way better since I compare me to myself only. Yeah, that's cool. What do you think about Musk comments about Hasbro dissing Gygax and wondering about how much to buy Hasbro to make D&D great again? Also, Hasbro facing a possible class action suit. Hey, I'm glad you asked about that, Trinda. I was actually reading about both of those things, and let's talk about those. Before we do that, though, we do have a giveaway going on, so please join the giveaway if you want to get free stuff. We're giving out $50 DM Lair store credit. We'll draw the winner to the giveaway at the end of the live stream. And Black Friday sale right now, you can save up to 50% on everything on the DM Lair store. So go over there, get Lairs and Legends, get Lair Magazine, Into the Fae, Loot and Lore, Secret Art of Game Mastery, just whole bunches and gobs of stuff over there that you guys, Foundry packs that you guys can use in your games. So up to 50% off. Just go to the site and there's some codes. It's very obvious what you need to do. It's very clear. So yeah, go do that. All right, let's talk about so the first thing I want to talk about is the class action lawsuit. So how do we do this? I want to go over here. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. Class action. Hasbro lawsuit. So you can see I was reading a whole bunch of different articles here. What was very interesting is that there was a variety of law firms who have information up about people contacting them to get in on the class action lawsuit against Hasbro, which I don't quite understand. Let's talk about exactly what they're being sued for. This is probably a good paragraph right here. I think this summarizes it. The Hasbro class action lawsuit alleges that defendants throughout the class period misrepresented the quality of inventory and the appropriateness of the levels of inventories carried by Hasbro and its retailers compared to customer demand. In truth, the Hasbro class action alleges that Hasbro had a significant buildup of inventory that it was struggling to manage and which far exceeded customer demand. Okay, so basically, the bottom line is that what they're alleging is that Hasbro had a very high inventory level at a certain point. But Hasbro was claiming that the inventory was high because they were anticipating high customer demand. But the class action suit is alleging that that wasn't the case, that instead the inventory was high because of lower sales. And so that's why they had a higher inventory. So they were essentially lying to investors. They were defrauding their investors, basically, is what the class action lawsuit is all about. Now, I read several articles about this. I went on a Reddit thread too. So everything on Reddit is a big grain of salt. But it seems that this sort of class action lawsuit is pretty common. There are, and again, take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt, because this is what I read about this for about a half an hour, and this is what it seemed like I was learning. Okay, so I could be totally wrong. So just, keep that in mind. But it's what I was getting is it seems like class action lawsuits like this are very common. There are literally companies, law firms out there that look for, they're on the lookout for companies that they can try to establish a class action lawsuit against. They're on the lookout for this. And then once they find a company that exhibits certain patterns or might be a good target for this type of lawsuit, then what they do is they go try to find somebody that can serve as a plaintiff, as the anchor for the class action lawsuit. In this case, there was a fireman's group or something, firefighters, West Palm Beach Firefighters Pension Fund. So apparently this pension fund had invested in some Hasbro stock, and so they are like the plaintiff or whatever, or like the class defendant or the class representative, whatever they term that. But anyway, it sounds like these types of lawsuits are very common, and you have, I don't know, quote unquote, maybe a little predatory law firms that are just kind of looking for this stuff and then jumping on them whenever they present themselves. And then it sounds like these lawsuits are very common. They're usually settled out of court with like settlements and stuff because people don't want the bad PR. It seems like these suits are very hard to win, and there's some question about whether this one is winnable or not. But again, they're probably not going to want to take it to court because they don't want the bad PR. So Hasbro is probably going to settle this out of court and just give some people money to go away. That's what it sounds like. That's all I really know about this. So I don't know. But it probably still comes at a pretty bad time for Hasbro because they're not doing well. Their sales are down. They made a good profit this year, but that was only because they laid off a whole bunch of people last year. But their sales overall are down, and so that's not good. So they're probably going to have to lay off a bunch of more people right before Christmas. I guarantee you there's going to be, they already did some layoffs a few weeks ago. They did some layoffs in their New Hampshire. Is it New Hampshire? There's one of those little tiny states up there where they have their their headquarters is located. And I think they're planning on moving their company headquarters to a different state, and so they laid off about 100 people or so at their headquarters. I was reading that article about a month or so ago, so my memory is getting a little hazy on what it said. But I'm sure there's going to be another bunch of layoffs right before Christmas, right in time for Christmas. But what I did kind of like about the lawsuit is that they handed out the lawsuit just in time for Thanksgiving, at least. So maybe some people at Hasbro, you know, their holidays were not quite as happy, which serves them right, because last year they fired like 1,000 people right before Christmas. And so they kind of probably, those executives probably deserve not to have a good Thanksgiving. So anyway, yeah, happy Thanksgiving, Hasbro. Anyway, there's you know, small justices in the world. You once got $15 in a Microsoft class action. You guys, so here's the thing. I get those class action mailers somewhat frequently. I feel like I get a class action mailer probably once. Well, it's not super frequently. It's like several times a year. 4 to 5 times a year, I'll get those little tiny class action things, you know, that you get in the mail. And I always throw them away. They're not worth my time. Like, if I'm gonna make $15, that's not worth my time to fill the piece of the form out with my information. It's not worth my time. Like, I'd have to make, like, I don't know, a few $100s at least for it to be worth my time to fill the stupid thing out. And there's no guarantee of that, and you have no idea if you're gonna get anything. So, and I'm always worried too that those little class action mailers, actually, I feel like my hesitancy to fill those out probably has less to do with the pittance of money that they give you and more to do with the fact that I don't know if it's a scam or not. Because those mailers that come in the mail, just like, I don't know, I don't trust them. It's like, did somebody make this? Because it's just full of legal crap, you know? It's like, and who's gonna read all that? So I'm always like, did somebody just make this up to try to get my personal information? And so like, I'll like go to their website to enter my personal information thinking that I'm signing up for a class action when actually they're just getting like my information or something. You know what I mean? There's always part of me that's like, is this for real? You know, like how much risk am I comfortable with? Like, there's a chance you might make $15, but there's also a chance they might steal your identity or something. Maybe, I don't know. I might just be paranoid, but those little mailers always seem sketchy to me, so I ignore them. And you know, I bet you that the law firms are okay with me ignoring them because that probably just means more money for them. If like, you know, if 100,000 people ignore them, then that's like, you know, $1 million extra they get or something. I don't know. Wow, Goliath, you got a couple thousand from a class action? Oh my goodness. Maybe I should pay more attention to those. Jeez. Oh, it just showed up in your mailbox? Oh, that is cool. Huh. Okay. Oh, what was the other thing we were going to talk about? Ah, yes, Elon Musk saying he was going to buy Hasbro. That was actually on EN World. I wanted to take a look at that. So there was an article. I didn't read this yet, so we're just kind of looking at this together. So Elon Musk wants to know how much is Hasbro. The richest man in the world wants to know how much D&D's owner Hasbro would cost. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit so we can read this a little bit better. Following the richest man in the world's attack on Wizards of the Coast for 2 paragraphs in the 500-page celebration of D&D, the making of Virtual Dungeons & Dragons, Elon Musk, who bought Twitter not that long ago, wants to know how much D&D's owner Hasbro would cost. Wait a second. So he attacked Wizards of the Coast? Really? What's that say? Elon Musk calls for Wizards of the Coast to burn in hell over making of original D&D passages. Elon Musk is very mad at Wizards of the Coast due to passages in making of original D&D. Whoa. Whoa. I didn't read. When was this? Oh, this was recent. This was recent. I have not seen this stuff. Elon Musk, the owner of the app formerly known as Twitter, the app formerly known as Twitter, is calling on Wizards of the Coast and its parent company Hasbro to burn in hell for the publication of Making of Original Dungeons & Dragons. On November 1st, former gaming executive turned culture warrior Mark Hearn posted several passages from Making of the Original Dungeons & Dragons on Twitter, criticizing the book for providing context about some of the misogyny and cultural insensitivity found in early rulebooks. Oh, for providing context. Ah. Okay, I wonder what that was all about. These passages were pulled from the foreword written by Jason Tondro, a senior designer for the D&D team who also worked exclusively on the book. Hearn stated that these passages, along with the release of the new 2024 Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide for D&D's 40th anniversary, is actually D&D's 50th anniversary, okay, both erased and slandered Gary Gygax and other creators of Dungeons & Dragons. In response, Musk wrote, "Nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to trash Gary Gygax and the geniuses who created Dungeons & Dragons. What the crap is wrong with Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast? May they burn in hell." Musk had played Dungeons & Dragons at some point in his youth, but it's unclear when the last time he ever played the game. I'll run a D&D game for Elon. He wants to play? He can make a rogue or something. Not the 2024 rules, 2014 rules. Nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to trash Gary Gygax and the geniuses who created Dungeons & Dragons. Yeah, oh, this is the tweet. Okay. Notably, Making of Original Dungeons & Dragons contains countless correspondences and letters written by both Gygax and Dave Arneson, including annotated copies of early D&D rule sets. Most early D&D rules supplements as well as early Dragon magazines are also found in the book. It seems odd to contain one of the most extensive compilations of Gygax's work in erasure, but it's unclear whether Hearn or Musk actually read the book given the incorrect information about the anniversary. Oh, and they screwed the anniversary date up. Okay, if somebody screws up, whether it's the 40th anniversary or the 50th anniversary, that doesn't invalidate everything they say. Like, that's such a stupid position to take. It's like, I mess my wife's birth date up a lot. It doesn't mean that everything I know about my wife is wrong and invalid. You know what I mean? That's just silly. It's absolutely erroneous, dumb assumption. That's really stupid. You're a moron. This person's a moron for stating that. Okay, anyway, where was I? Okay. Additionally, Gygax and Arneson are both credited in the 2024 Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide. The exact credit reads, "Building on the original game created by Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson and then developed by many others over the past 50 years. Wizards of the Coast also regularly collaborates with Gygax's youngest son Luke and is a participant at GaryCon, a convention held in Gygax's honor." Well, did they really go to GaryCon? When's the... Did they really go to GaryCon? They might now, but did they a few years ago? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. The opening paragraph of the 2024 Player's Handbook is written by Jeremy Crawford and specifically lauds both Gygax and Arneson for making Dungeons & Dragons. Contains an anecdote about Crawford meeting Gygax. Okay. Ha! This guy's a jackwad. Musk has increasingly leaned into culture war controversies in recent years, usually amplifying misinformation to suit his own political agenda. Okay. Yep. You just throw this idiot out. I don't care what you have to say now. All right. All right. Now, that was just one article. Now we're going over to, so he made these statements and now he's asking how much does Hasbro cost? After the public sharing on Twitter of John Tondros, who wrote the book's forward, private Facebook posts, Musk replied, "How much is Hasbro?" Hasbro's estimated capitalization is currently that much billion with 4 billion of debt. Okay. So they're worth more than the debt. So they're worth $4 billion. No, a little bit more than that. Almost $5 billion. Billion? They're worth $1 billion? Really? Are they worth $1 billion? Is that true? That seems like a lot. But I mean, it could be true. It was on the 21st of December 2017 when Musk similarly inquired, how much is it, before proceeding to make a bid for Twitter. He later tried to back out of the deal, but was forced to buy the platform for $44 billion in June. Current estimates by investment firm Fidelity put the platform at value 80% less than when he bought it for. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. I love Twitter. You should buy it then. How much is it? How much is it? Oh man. Dude, so Elon doesn't have to buy Hasbro. This is what I would do. Don't buy Hasbro. Hasbro is like losing money left and right. What you want to do somehow is you would want to buy Magic the Gathering and maybe D&D. Because Magic the Gathering is what's making all the money, right? I mean, I think Monopoly Go, I think, is making a lot of money too. But I think there's a lot of Hasbro that you probably don't want to actually buy, you know, because that doesn't make any money. Is there a way he could just buy Magic the Gathering and D&D, and then maybe he could run the company better, you know, than Hasbro? You could always hope for that. Just buy Wizards of the Coast and leave Hasbro separate. Yeah, if you could do that, if Elon just bought Wizards of the Coast, then you know, obviously he could do something with D&D, and he'd probably do a way better job probably than. Well, the thing is if Elon has actually played D&D before, then he's already got a heads up on like probably many of the other executives that never have played D&D before running the company. You buy Hasbro, trash the part of the company that are sinking. He isn't shy in firing people. Yeah, and you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be when a company, like when there's like massive inefficiencies and stuff. Like, you know, like he got rid of what 80% of Twitter, and guess what? Twitter's running just fine. There's so much bloat in companies. There's bloat. I mean, yeah, we don't want to talk about politics now, but there's bloat. There's crazy amounts of bloat, and inefficiencies can be gotten rid of. So like if you're good at doing that and you can get rid of some inefficiencies, then you can definitely improve a company. Like, you know, you just got to do it. You got to do it. What you really want to do is you want to get rid of the parts of the company that are not performing, and then the parts of the company that are doing well, you want to keep those, and the people that are doing a good job, you keep that. But like the people, like, you know, there are like famous like little TikToks and like videos of people, it might have been Twitter, but they're like, yeah, I'm a project manager at Twitter. This is what my day looks like. Usually I get in around 9 o'clock and I have a latte, you know, and we do this, we hang out and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, now we're on the roof next to the pool and stuff, and we're just kind of hanging out and talking. It's like her entire day was goofing around, and you're a project manager making like 80,000 a year probably or more. It's like, no, that's messed up. Go do some work. Jeez. He was the #1 player in Diablo 4. Really? Really? Oh yeah, project managers. Yeah. Well, if you're in California, project managers got to be like 200,000 because everything costs like twice as much in California. Taxes do that. not a popular decision, but I'm an independent consultant. I'm the first to tell my clients. I'll tell you who to keep and who to lay off and when it's done. Yeah, you got to do that crap. I don't know if he was number 1, but he was consistently top 20. Really? In Diablo 4? Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I got the meowing cat is Squirty Pie. She's around the corner meowing. He broke into first place last week. I haven't played Diablo 4. I played a little bit of Diablo 3. Diablo 3 wasn't super interesting to me. The thing is, Diablo 2 was actually kind of challenging. You know, like, you had to be a little careful. Diablo 3 just felt like a steamroll. Like, nothing could touch me. And it was just kind of boring. I felt like I was just moving along invincible. I don't know. Maybe I put the game difficulty at a low setting or something. I don't know. But I lost interest because it was too easy. He plays regularly with pros. Oh, that's cool. Elon Gaming is the funniest thing for all day. I mean, dude, you have a high stress job and you're doing all these things. You got to get some time to just relax and do something you enjoy, you know? You got to. Diablo 2 is so good. Oh, I played so much Diablo 2 when I was in high school. So many classes I didn't go to because I was playing Diablo 2, and I still got A's, which tells you something about college. I was at U of M Ann Arbor, which is supposedly a really good college and crap, but hey, I could just not go to class and still pass. Yeah. I've gone to a community college more recently, and the quality of education that I got at a community college was better than I got at University of Michigan. Go figure. Smaller class sizes. The professors are usually professionals in their actual field that they're teaching in, so they're actually doing the job. They're not just giving lectures on it and like doing research and writing papers and publishing stuff. Like, I don't know. So yeah, it was much better. And it was what was it? Oh, I'm not trying to humble brag. I was just saying. It was what was I saying? It was cheaper. It was cheaper to go to a community college. I was getting a better education. Yeah, it was overall way better. These stupid big colleges are just horse crap these days. And they're super expensive. And I need to get some more coffee. Give me a second. This is the last of it. A bully in the D&D club got you kicked out of college? How does that work? Patient cat host waits for talkative co-host. I'm the co-host now? This is the actual host? I mean, let's be honest. Who's more handsome? The kitty? The cute little kitty, or this, right? You're here to see the kitty. I know you are. He's a cutie. And speaking of coffee, today's sponsor is... Oh yeah, so we do have a giveaway going on, ladies and gentlemen. There should be a link in the chat somewhere for the giveaway. And you can win $50 DM Lair store credit. We're gonna draw the giveaway winner in just a little bit here, so go sign up for that. And then we also have Black Friday sale on the DM Lair store, so you can get 30 to 50% off everything on the store. If you go over to the store, I'll show you a picture because I have pictures. If you go over to the store, There's like a banner at the top that will tell you the codes you enter to like save bunches and gobs of money and stuff. So you can get Layers and Legends. This is the book that keeps selling. We keep selling gobs and gobs of these things. Everybody loves these. I mean, they're buying them all, I suppose. I'm assuming they love them. They're buying all the things. And you got Secret Art of Game Master, Layers and Legend, or Lair magazine, Foundry packs, just whole bunches of cool stuff you can use in your games over there in the DM Lair store. So you're gonna save tons of money today, and tomorrow, and Sunday too. I once ran. So check this out. I have a short coming out tomorrow. I have a short coming out tomorrow to kind of promote the sale or whatever. And I remember my short does homage to people that complain, basically. So one of the complaints that I got, I love people that complain. One of the complaints that I got last year, I believe, was that we ran our Black Friday sale. I think we only ran our Black Friday sale for 3 days. I think mostly because I wasn't even planning on doing one. And then the day before I was like, I should probably do one of those. And so I did it at the last minute. So that was my fault, lack of planning. But we only did it for like 3 days. And one of the complaints I got was somebody apparently had to work all of those days, and therefore they didn't have time to go on the site and buy things and save money. And they were very upset that I had the sale correspond to the days that they had to work. Therefore, they couldn't actually take advantage of the sale. That was their complaint. So the short that I have coming out tomorrow pays homage to that complaint, and it pays homage to like a couple other complaints too. So I tried to like put a little bit of like satire, I guess you would say, in like the ad video or whatever. So I don't know, whatever. You probably don't care. Nobody cares, but whatever. The amount I care is inversely proportional to how entitled they are in the complaint. Oh, this complaint was super entitled. Yeah, it's like, how dare you run a sale when I'm working so that I can't buy it? It's like, dude, do you work 24 hours a day, man? You don't get out of work and go home or something? Like, man, that sucks, dude. Are you on a submarine? Can't help you, dude. You know, if you work on a submarine, what am I gonna do? The Black Friday sale runs until Sunday. Sunday is the last day. I have cat hair in my coffee. Sunday is the last day to get it. Yes, you can buy from the UK. You can buy from almost anywhere in the world. We now have international shipping available. I'm very happy about that. So, our fulfillment partner, because they deal with a large amount of volume, Shopify gave them early access to a special worldwide fulfillment thing that they offer. And so we were able to get that for our store as well because of our fulfillment partner helping us with that. And so now we are able to ship everywhere and almost everywhere in the world. Now it's not cheap depending on where you are, but it'll tell you how much it costs when you go on there to try to buy it. So I mean, there might be a little bit of like $40, like that's what it costs when I can't control shipping costs. That's like one of the complaints, one of the most popular complaints on any of our Kickstarters is, how does shipping cost so much? And I'm always just like, because it's expensive, dude. Like, I know that you're accustomed to paying like nothing for Amazon shipping, but I'm not Amazon, man. So I have to charge you what it costs me so that I can, you know, make a living and not like lose my butt to shipping costs. Oh yeah, what's going on with the Canadian Post Office? Isn't there like a strike or something with the Canadian Post Office or something? What's going on with that? I saw something. I think I got an email or something about that. There's something going on with that. All right, wait. We need to. You got any questions or something? What are we doing? We're just talking about random crap. They're on strike. Oh, nice. Are they anything like our postal system? I should probably not talk about these things. Some people are going to work in a postal system and they're going to get offended, and they're going to be mad at me. Yeah. Gotta keep my opinions about the postal system to myself. Otherwise, people are going to get upset with me. How to do magic tech in D&D 5th edition? I have no idea what that means, dude. What does that mean? Yeah, I gotta be careful what I say. Get myself in trouble. Canada Post strike before the holidays. Whatever. Use UPS. Use DHL. Just use something else. There's lots of other options. It's not like they got a monopoly. Hopefully they don't have a monopoly on mailing stuff, because that's how you get inflated prices. Magic tech is technology that has magic elements in it, like a gun that shoots firebolts. So the way that I would do magic tech is I would just we just make crap up. I don't know. Like you don't. Do you want a whole other system to tack on to the current game? No way. It's too many rules already. So you just make crap up, man. So I would reskin existing elements. So if you want a gun that shoots firebolts, well, what's the closest thing to a gun that shoots firebolts that we currently have? A wand that shoots firebolts. Okay, cool. Wand of firebolts. Excellent. Let's call it Pistol of Firebolts. It has the same mechanics and everything, only it's a pistol instead of a wand. There you go. It can shoot so many times before it has to recharge. I think I would probably do something like that if I wanted to do a system. I would just reskin a bunch of stuff, because I'm not going to add more rules. I can't stand more rules, man. I'm having lots of fun with Shadow Dark, which has fewer rules, and that feels liberating after like decades of running rules heavy games. It feels really good to run a rules light game. It feels so freeing. Yeah, if you're just doing it for flavor, then you reskin stuff 100%. That's the easiest way to do it. Did I have a good Thanksgiving? Yes, it was a very nice Thanksgiving. I went over to, so it was a family get-together thingy with my mom, my brother, one of my brother's daughters, and then my wife, and then me. And then there were 3 dogs. Very, very cute. Big dogs. There were a couple pointers, hunting dogs, and then a lab. And the lab was just, she was on her belly, her back the whole time, wanted her belly rubbed. She was just like lying on the ground, rolling around and stuff. So it was a very good Thanksgiving. I haven't seen my brother in a while, so that was good to see him. And then his daughter, she's about 18 or 19, something like that. I don't know. I'm an old man, and it's hard for me to tell people's ages anymore. It's like the older you get, the harder it is to tell how everybody just looks young. So you're just like, I don't know, it was some young kid. I think she's somewhere like 18 or something. She made the entire dinner herself. The turkey, the ham, the mashed potatoes, the stuffing, the yams, macaroni and cheese. Like, she made everything herself, and it was all amazing. It was really, really good. I'm like 18-year-old kid, dang, cooking some good food, man. Because making a whole Thanksgiving spread is no easy undertaking, and she did it by herself, so that was pretty good. I'm sure her dad was kind of helping a little bit here and there, but probably not that much, because she was like a little fireball of, nobody's helping me, I'm doing it myself. You know, so it was probably almost all her. The turkey was really flavorful, which is really surprising because many times turkey is dry and unflavorful, but it was really good. And then the yams were delicious. The macaroni and cheese was good. The only thing that didn't have a lot of flavor that could have been done better was the stuffing. It was a box mix stuffing, but there wasn't a whole bunch of flavor to it. She should have taken some of the turkey broth and like drizzled it on there and like mixed it up and stuff to give it a little bit more flavor and moistness. It was too dry. That was the only thing that was kind of lacking. Everything else was amazing. So it was good. It was very good. Question: are you interested in playing Daggerheart? I like the level of rules and crunch in Daggerheart. No, I'm not super interested in it right now, to be honest with you. I don't own it. And I'm really into right now. I'm playing Shadow Dark a lot, and I think that's lots of fun. So I'm probably going to play that for a while. If I get bored of Shadow Dark and want to try something else, the next game I'm probably going to get into is Call of Cthulhu. I played it a little bit and it's lots of fun. But I don't know. I'm just blowing my keyboard, not attacking you. Nobody attacked you. I don't know the level of rules, heavy or light. Is it similar in like complexity to D&D rules? You know, like light, hard, or like rules light, rules heavy type stuff? Is it about the same as D&D 5th edition? Yeah, Call of Cthulhu is tons of fun. I need to play that. What's your thoughts on the 2024 books changing race to species? I mean, they kind of had to do it because they did it as like a cover your butt, you know, because everybody's calling them racist and stuff, which people do a lot these days for things that clearly aren't. But the moment they are actually species. They are mostly different species to begin with. But because they chose race, you know, that just kept on leading them to problems, mostly probably on like the Twitter vocal minority freak out over everything type of community. So I think they just probably got flam blasted a few too many times and called like R words and stuff. So they're like, we should just, part of the problem is that we call it races. If we call it something like species, I think that, you know, what are they going to call us? Speciesism? You're a speciest, you know, like, so I think that it was a good cover your butt move. I think it's silly that you have to do that, you know, and probably their motivations for doing it were silly. But it was probably wise, maybe, overall or whatever. So, but I kind of prefer the term ancestries. I think Pathfinder 2 calls them ancestries, I know. But there was another game that calls them ancestries too. And I think ancestry makes a lot of sense to call it ancestries. Because when you call them species, species is more accurate than races. But if I'm not mistaken, one of the defining characteristics of species is that they cannot interbreed. And that isn't strictly true. And I know I'm applying like, you know, our world science to a fantasy world, and I understand that doesn't necessarily work. But one of the defining characteristics of a species is that two members of different species cannot interbreed. I'm pretty sure that is a thing. Like a dog cannot breed with a cat. It doesn't work. It just can't work, you know. But in D&D, a human and a elf can breed, and then you can have other types of breeding too. So it isn't strictly a different species technically, you know. So I think that ancestry is probably is a better term in my opinion, because it's not technically a species, I think. It does happen, really. Oh, the lion and the tiger. Yeah, but they're both felines. The lion and the tiger the lion and the tiger probably, yeah, but they're so close to each other. I think that's why. And that's true. That's true. You can have a donkey and a horse gives you a mule. That's true. So I guess that does happen. But again, they're very close to begin with. You know, they're very close to begin with. But what you don't have is a horse and a tiger breeding. That doesn't happen, you know. Ancestors can get confusing based on the setting. I don't mind race. Wizard of the Coast still uses it, and Blizzard's is pretty conscientious. Species can interbreed if they're biologically close to each other. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, it's that the instances of species breeding that people were naming are because those species are like very close to each other. All right, let's draw the winner of our giveaway. I've never played Starfinder. No, I've never played Starfinder. Yeah, skills is the main part for Call of Cthulhu. Like, yeah, a lot of it's skills. They have a really cool dice mechanic system in Call of Cthulhu. I really like it. It's a percentile-based system where you roll under your skill level. It's really cool. I like it a lot. All right, we're drawing the winner of our giveaway. Let's focus. Let's focus. Here we go. All right, Jacob from Minnesota. Jacob from Wyoming, Minnesota. So there is a city in Minnesota that's named after a state. So I'm guessing that at some point, a bunch of people from Wyoming migrated to Minnesota and were like, you know what? We're going to call this place Wyoming. This is going to be Wyoming, Minnesota. Jacob is now upset with me because I'm poking fun at the name of his city. I'm sorry, Jacob. I'm a jerk. I'm just a bad person. But I will be emailing you so that you can get DM Lair store credit. There you go, buddy. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Jacob Copperholm. It was a different Jacob. Wyoming, Minnesota, and Wyoming, the state, both have their names from Wyoming Valley, PA. Pennsylvania? Really? Oh, there we go. Grandmaster, what's up, dude? He's still here. He's like, yeah, I know you're making fun of my city, dude. It's okay. I make fun of it too, man. We all do. Dude, I'll tell you what, man. Wyoming is beautiful. And then South Dakota, too. Oh, I'll tell you, like, the Black Hills area in South Dakota, absolutely gorgeous, man. I could move there and be like, wake up in the mountains and it was so nice. It was so cool. Black Hills area in South Dakota, very, very cool. I can move there and be happy, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're done. We're gonna take off. Have yourselves a Todd says, I need Dungeon Master sensitivity training. Yeah, you're fine. Don't worry about it, buddy. You'll be okay, man. All right, man. I'm out of here, dude. We'll see you all later. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you next week. We'll have a live stream and stuff and all that kind of cool stuff. So, yeah, Gadget Cat, you made it. You made it the whole stream. Congratulations, man. All right, I gotta push the buttons. I gotta push the stop buttons. Push the stop buttons, Luke. Whee!